So the purpose of this meeting is to know you well, because in France we don't know very well who you are.
I know.
And we see your results on the races, but so where do you come from? Who are you in your life of every day? You speak about your sons.
Yeah. Okay, so already can start?
Yeah, it starts.
Okay.
Just talk to Manuel.
Okay, so I'm Lithuanian, but for the last 3 years I lived in Poland.
Okay.
And actually in Poland they found the mountains and they started to run in 2012.
Okay.
So, I mean, I focused more on the trail running, because back in Lithuania I did the trail in 2009 and my first trail was in France, and maybe my pronunciation is wrong, Serre Chevalier.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Serre Chevalier.
Serre Chevalier. Yeah, it was like Merrill Sky Race, and it was my very first touch with a trail, and it happened in France. So I'm very grateful for that. And for a while I forgot about trail running.
And why trail running at this moment?
It was just interesting to me to check what it is, you know, because like in Lithuania we have ultra long distance association, and we receive invitation from International Association Ultra Trail Runners for the World Championship, and nobody from Lithuania was willing to go because nobody knew what it is trail. And we said, hey guys, who wants to go? And they said, okay, I'll give it a try. So I went to this Serre Chevalier, but I have no knowledge at all about trail running, because the race started and during the night, and I was without headlamp, I was running with the road shoes, and I was like slippering all the time, falling, and I said, hey, it's not running, it's nonsense, and we went. It's because it was my first touch with the mountains. I've never run in the mountains, so
there isn't many mountains in Lithuania?
There is no mountains,
No.
it's flat. It's the highest which we have probably is like 220 meters above sea level, and the ascent is just 70 meters. So there is no mountains basically. So usually when I'm training throughout mountains. It's like everywhere flat. Even in the Poland where I was stationed, the closest mountains were 500 kilometers from my place. So day by day training I do on the 1 or 2 hills, like repetitions up and down, just to get used to it. So this is how I came to the trail running. And as I said, in 2012 I started to put more focus on the trail running, because I found that it is more interesting, more fun, and I'm more relaxed while I'm running trails, because your attention goes to some scenery, some picturesque places, and while you're running on asphalt, yeah, I can do that, but it's boring, like blam 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 on asphalt is not fun. And what I found out that traveling to the mountains with family is the most important, because when you're going to the road races, it's like the big cities, which I don't like. And then
I don't like Paris.
I like Chamonix more than Paris.
Okay.
Yeah, I say it like that. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful buildings, but that's all. I don't enjoy the buildings. I like nature, so this is why I prefer the Alps, instead of big cities. And it is like it is. Some people prefer cities, I prefer mountains, and in my family they are like more into the nature as well. So for us, it's very good, reason to go for races and together spend time in the mountains, and I'm like walking with the kids, and teaching them what's really matter, because now everything is about money, speed, and there is no time. So like in the mountains, it's very calm atmosphere. So it's better stay, relax, calm down, enjoy the nature, don't be in a hurry, everything will be on time. So like stuff like that. So basically, it's like teaching the kids as well not to be so in a hurry, just relax and to enjoy the nature.
And before traveling, were you a great sportman, or?
Basically, like all my childhood I spent doing martial arts, like box, judo, Thai box. I wasn't the best in that area, but yeah, I had some results, but not very good ones. So later I went to, I graduated and joined military academy. And after my studies, I was deployed to Iraq. And there I found out that there was a lot of, like bad situations, like extreme situations. So I found out that while I'm running, I keep myself calm. I can put the pressure away, the stress away. And it helped me to cope with some problems which I have later on. So I started to run more and more, and this is how I found the ultra running. But my first encounter was like road ultra. So I don't know, like till the last year I had the Lithuanian national record, which was like 7 hours for 100 kilometers on the road, which is not very great result worldwide, but in Lithuania it was like, was standing for 25 years, and I just suddenly broke it, and just in this world championship, another guy from Lithuania, he did that, now I lost my result. But I'm very happy because the new generation of Lithuanian ultra runners actually growing, and we have some good trail runners as well, because like in Lithuania, trail running didn't exist for like the last 2 years, just we started to build some kind of community, and now it's growing.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 36 years old.
Okay. And can you train as you want, or have you enough time? It's difficult.
It's complicated because like running is just my hobby, so I'm not a professional athlete, and I have to do my daily business. Basically my job is in the office, so I have to be in the office from 8 to 5. Yeah, so for the training purposes, it's not good because afterwards I must to go for a run, and usually I'm running back home, or I'm coming, to my job,
On kilometers?
It's now from my house it's like 24, but if I want to avoid the roads, so it makes it 27, so it's 27 one way. So it's kind of nice training, but after that you're a little bit tired, and anyway you have to spend time with the kids, with the family, and this is cost, and it's cost that I have a sleep deprivation because, like for me to normally feel and to do the normal training, I need at least like 8 hours, at least 8 hours to sleep, and usually I sleep just 5 hours. And it's not good because later on, next day when you're running, you feel it. Yeah, so.
Okay. And this year, at the oldest race, Diagonale des Fous, you were a little tired.
Yeah, I was tired because of the reason which I mentioned before. My job. And I just flew in on Tuesday, I believe, and the race was on Thursday. Yeah, so it's not enough time to have a good sleep, because if you like not sleeping well, you need like at least like 1 week to sleep well to compensate that. So and usually I'm trying to do my best and to come to the race as early as possible, not just to relax but to have enough sleep. It's just because of the sleep. And this time I didn't have, but anyway I was like very grateful, and I didn't have the time because of my normal job, because somebody must do the job at home, and so this was the situation. But anyway, grateful because the initial plan was to fly Thursday morning and run on Thursday evening, so it was better. But I believe it's not only one reason, because I had like a long season and I felt tired actually. Like before the Maido, I was totally done. I was tired. Like my body functioned very well. I didn't have any blisters, I didn't have any pains, but just my mind betrayed me and I couldn't run. Like I remember from the last year, in the places where I could run, this year I was like totally done. I couldn't. I just didn't find the motivation or some mental power to make my body move, and I lost it. So.
Did you like La Réunion, the island, despite of this?
Yeah. It's like all the time I'm saying, like Grinius is the most beautiful, most difficult, and the most technical, and the most race for me. And if I have a chance, just to choose one race in which I want to race, and it will be done for me. So Grinius, so I don't know. A lot of people saying UTWT, that is my best race and they want to win, but for me it's like if I would like to win one race, it would be Reunion.
You prefer a Reunion than the Alps?
It's different.
For the technical.
I'm just comparing the races in which I participated. So Reunion is technically it's more difficult for me than the Alps. Even though I don't have a good training possibility back home. So, but the Alps is some kind of doable. But in Reunion, with all the steps, all the steers, it just kills the people. And the difference of the temperature, because in some places it's very cold during the night and during the day it's very hot. It can be heavily raining like last year and you are freezing. It was just the only race in which I changed my clothes last year because I was like frozen, just shaking. So I needed to do something because I was losing energy and it was just in Reunion. In other races it never happened. And like about the technicality, it's like, yeah, it's difficult. I don't know, maybe because I'm not used to run steps, maybe this is the reason, And I'm not saying that UMB is nothing, yeah, it's a great race, but the support, the people which are cheering in the Reunion, it's like, I don't know, I like this atmosphere much more.
It's a great race, and I was there also.
Yeah, so.
And next year, do you know what you will do?
Yeah, I probably participate in Ultra Trail World 2 events, and
you would like to,
No.
you are second this year, would you like to be first?
Of course, I would like to be first, but it depends on a lot of things,
Yes.
and especially on the training and on sleep.
Yes.
Most important on sleep. If I have a good sleep, so my results will be better. So, yeah, definitely I want to do good, but it's like top 5 is okay for me because it's not, I'm not professional, but of course to be number 1 all the time is good, So it's like just, life is life, you're improving slowly, Last year I was first, this year I am second, so next year it's like, according to a formula I'm supposed to be first, but the shit happens in life and it's like totally different all the time, so this is what is interesting about the life, And I like 2 years or 3 years I've never expected to be, in the top 10 in Ultra Trail World Tour, and it just happened, and I was like, wow, how I can do that, how it's possible, And last year I said, oh, okay, maybe I was lucky. And this year I'm second, so it's like builds a little bit confidence for me. So I'm looking with new eyes, for 2016. And yeah, I have a race planned. It's still a plan, but probably I'll stick to it. And the first race probably will be the Hong Kong, which is like very new for me in 2016. So
there are also ministers at Hong Kong.
yeah, but it's 100. It's like kind of different. I don't know, I've never been in Hong Kong, so it will be kind of challenging because it's like end of January and like from let's say December in Lithuania we have not very good conditions for running because it's very cold. We can have a lot of snow, but I like challenges and I'm just accepting them. So I'm ready to train and to be ready for Hong Kong.
During the winter, you will only run or do you ski?
Like now, after the run rate, I'm doing nothing, just eating well, trying to sleep well, but sometimes it happens, sometimes not, So I am having recovery for like 2-3 weeks, and after that, yeah, I do a cross training. I'll start with the gym. I'll putting a lot of effort in the gym, just because we don't have high mountains. So I do some sit-ups, squats, just to make my muscles, used to the pressure. Yeah, exactly, and just strengthen the muscle. Good, great. So it's just, and yeah, for a while I'm using bicycle. I'm cycling, but it's becoming colder and colder, and it's not so pleasant to do that. And if we will be lucky and we'll have enough snow, so I do the cross-country ski, and I'm really bad at it. I don't know any technique, but I just like to be, again in the forest, in the snow, and to do my best, So I'll try just, to ski if the nature allows. So swimming, yeah. One of my sons, the elder one, he's a swimmer, so when he swims, it's allowed to go to the swimming pool. So I'm doing some cross training, but of course just if you want to run, you must run. So at least December and January I'll spend on running.